Today I am back to share the results of my 30-day challenge and to give you guys an update on what's been going on. What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another video. My name is Kira if you are new, and today's video is going to be like a sit down and let's chat. I have a bunch of stuff to share with you guys. I feel like I have not talked to you guys in so long. I like doing the sit down videos sometimes because so much goes on behind the scenes and I don't get a chance to share it with everyone. I'm really awful about using my community tab, and not everybody has Instagram, nor do I always get a chance to share there as well. So sometimes this is the best way for me to get information to you guys. So it has been a pretty crazy month. Like I said, I feel like the last time maybe I sat down and talked to you guys was like the first day of school, which was literally a month ago. So it has been quite some time and a lot of stuff has happened since then. So I think I want to talk about my 30-day challenge first, just kind of get that out of the way. So if you guys are new, Nicole Burgess, she has a channel here on YouTube. She was doing a 30-day challenge, and typically in the past when she's done challenges, I've not really been able to jump on. She's done like anabolic, and she did keto challenges, and she did a bunch of different things, and I just wasn't in that stage of eating lifestyle and stuff to be able to like jump on board with some of the challenges that she did in the past. But this one I was really excited about because I felt like this was something that I could truly do for me, because the point of her challenge was to cater it to whatever was going to work for you. It wasn't a Mediterranean challenge. It wasn't an anabolic challenge. It wasn't anything like that. It was do what you want to challenge yourself to do. If you just moved and you want to make sure you unpack one box every single day, then that's what you do every day for 30 days. Or maybe it was reading 5 pages of the Bible, whatever it was that you wanted to do. And I felt like, okay, this is something that I can use to motivate me. I'm competitive. That's the word I'm looking for. I love to compete and I love to win, and that's just like something that strives and pushes me. And so fresh out of the gate, I was ready for this. My goal was to drink 2 of my 32 ounce things of water. So drink 64 ounces of water a day. I wanted to make sure that I did 20 minutes of exercise. So I closed the exercise ring on my watch, and I wanted to track what I was eating. And so for the first 2 weeks of this challenge, I was literally rocking it out. Like if I was coming home from work at 10 o'clock at night and I still didn't close my ring, I didn't care. I was doing a Zumba video, or I was going for a run around the block, or once I literally opened the gates and ran and did laps like around the house until I closed my ring. And I didn't stop until I closed my ring. Like that was super, super important to me. And I instantly started seeing results. My body is super receptive to watching what I eat and to exercising. And if I kept those things in my regular routine, I would never put weight back on. But I don't like to exercise. I know some people really do. I am just not a huge fan, no matter what it is that I try. I love to run, put my headphones on and just go and listen to music and stuff, but I'm just, the older that I get, the more tired that I am, and I always think to myself like, wow, I'd really love to go and run, but I'd also really love to fold that load of laundry, or I'd love to, you know, tackle this project in the kids' room I've been meaning to. So I always find a hard time managing, and I always make exercise and my health something that I push off to the back. And then as soon as I get started and I start to feel better and I see results, the mode switches like that. And then I become motivated, and it started happening immediately. I cut out all of the sugary drinks. I drink a lot of Gatorade and juice. I would have a soda like once a day, and now I went to nothing. I was doing strictly water. I have my coffee in the morning, but pretty much just water. And then sometimes I would treat myself during the day to like a Gatorade if I was working, and it was like a really, if I was running or something like that, or I just bought like a case of the Coke no sugar, so I've been bringing one of those with me to work. So I want, when I run out of my water and I want like something with flavor, I'll have the Coke no sugar, because we only have Diet Pepsi at work, and Mama's not a fan. So I will stick with my Coke no sugar. But other than that, you guys, I've been really cutting out the sugary drinks and increasing water, and I saw the difference immediately. I always lose weight in my face first. People have been saying on Instagram, oh girl, I could tell you're not kidding. You're losing weight. I could see it in your face. Yeah, I know, because I always lose, like, if I put on weight, this chin just triples in size immediately. I always put it on here. So I definitely like slimmed down in here, and I feel that. But when I start to see things like that, and like I said, starting to drink the water, my skin was getting better. I felt like this was getting tighter, and the elasticity in my face was getting tighter. So I was like, all right, the water is working. And watching when I was eating. When I started tracking, I started realizing how poor that my diet was. I don't eat a whole lot, but what I do eat is just not quality. Like, I just don't eat enough protein. I have a very like fatty diet, so what I do eat is full of fat, just because I do, like, I'm Italian, I like my cheeses and stuff, you know, so like all those things just put a lot of fat in your diet. I still don't eat as much carbs as I thought, which was good, but I drank my calories and all of that other stuff, and I just didn't eat enough. I found that once I started eating and forcing myself to eat like breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then a protein bar in between, the hungrier I was getting, and the more I was burning weight, because I was raising my metabolism, because that's my problem. My metabolism is like the size of a pea. It just runs on nothing. When I was younger, that's why I was very receptive to a herbal supplement that was out called Metabolife, and it was meant to just like spunk your metabolism. If you see a fly around here, there's 2 of them in my living room. I tried to kill them before I sat down, but they're anal, and I know that it's the same 2 that are always here because they fly together. They're like besties or husband and wife or something, and they're really annoying. I see them flying around, so if you see them, I apologize, but it's definitely fly season here in Texas, and I can't wait for it to get a little colder so they all go away. But my body's just always been receptive like that, and when I was taking that Metabolife, it boosted my metabolism, and all of the weight shed off. Like right before I got pregnant with Jacob, I was a size medium. Like, I probably hadn't been a medium since middle school. So my body's very receptive. So once I start watching what I eat, and I start drinking water and incorporating exercise into my diet, like, I just already start to see results. So as of 3 days ago, I was down 21.8 pounds. Now, that's not all from this challenge. That's like from right when I got sick with COVID, because I lost like 7 or 8 pounds or something like that when I first got sick, because the first couple of days, like, I wasn't even getting out of bed to lift my head off the pillow. So I was struggling, and I wasn't eating or anything. So I like lost 7 pounds, but then once like I was feeling better and up out of bed, I put like 3 to 4 pounds back on, depending on what time of day I stepped onto the scale. So I still had a little bit of a kickstart, because I was like over, and so when I lost those 3-4 pounds, it put me down under like a 10, you know, obviously you do your pounds and blocks of 10, right? And so I went underneath that 10 marker. So that was still like a little bit of a boost of confidence. When I stepped on the scale, I didn't see like I was in the next set of 10. So it was enough to still kind of kickstart me. And then as soon as I started this challenge, like I said, I started seeing results. Like after a week, I was already down 6 pounds. And sometimes like you don't want to do it unhealthy, but I'm not doing it unhealthy. I'm eating more than I ever was before, and I'm exercising, I'm drinking water. So this is not from being unhealthy. This is just because my body is being receptive to it. But about 2 weeks into my challenge, a few things changed at work, and so I was and still am extremely overwhelmed, and I'm going to get into that in just a second. But by doing that, it kind of put a halt a little bit into like the dedication I was putting into this channel, because sometimes I don't even get a chance to snap one picture on Instagram, let alone take you guys with me on my day. Sometimes I'll say something to V, and she was like, what are you talking about? I talked all about that on Instagram. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I haven't even seen your story, because I haven't been on in 3 days, you know? So when I go on, I like snap a picture, send it so you guys can see what's going on, and then I move on. I don't even watch anybody's, because I literally don't have time. So I found myself like within that 2-week marker, stopping like tagging Nicole on Instagram and whatever with the 30-day challenge and checking myself off and stuff. And I was going to say, like, I failed. I felt like the first time that I didn't do it right, I failed. And that really, really upset me. But I did not fail, you guys, because what this did for me was kickstart me in something that now I'm going to make a new change for myself. So if it did anything, it didn't need to be for 30 days anymore. Now it's going to be for 30 months or 30 years, because I like the way I feel right now, and I know that I can, even at this age, still shed weight and feel healthy about myself. So that's what the 30-day challenge did for me. It's going to be a lifestyle change for me moving forward. I definitely struggled with that for a couple of days because, again, I set myself up for success. And so when I really planned to stick through this every single day, I wanted to be at the end of 30 days, be able to like pop up a picture here of every single day that I closed my rings or whatever. But then life started to happen, and then if I get mad at myself because I didn't complete something, then it's a setback for me. And then when I mentally tell myself that it's a setback, then I fall back into my old habits, and it no longer becomes a success story for me. So instead of feeling angry at myself for quote unquote failing, I just said, you didn't fail. You just use this as a motivation to just kickstart a new way that you want to look at life moving forward. And so I really feel like I'm grateful for this challenge, because in my eyes, it was an even greater success than 30 days if I can continue to maintenance this beyond today, because today is exactly 30 days. This is when the challenge day was supposed to end. And if I really look back on it, I can say I really only participated in half of it. But let's talk in December when I look back at it and say, wow, I've still been doing it for 4 months now, and look where I'm at, and look at how I feel. Oh, hello, Ruby. Are you joining me? Oh, right behind me. Oh, are you saying hello? Say hello. Hello. Say hello. Okay. And so now that brings us to the next couple of things. So 2 weeks ago, that very first night that like I didn't go and try my best to finish my exercising, my dad had called me. I was actually counting a drawer at work, and he calls, and it was 10:30 at night here, which means it was 11:30 there. And so I answered the phone, like, what's the matter? And he said, oh, what are you doing? I was like, I'm counting a drawer. What are you doing? And he said, nothing, I didn't realize you were at work, just call me later. I was like, yeah, Dad, no. If you're calling me at 11:30 at night, it's because there's something you want to tell me what's going on. And so I knew my grandfather was in the hospital. They had taken him to the emergency room because he was a little unsteady on his feet. And then after like a bunch of testing and stuff, they have diagnosed my grandfather with brain cancer. They don't really know how aggressive that it is or what kind of cancer that it is. They would have to do a biopsy, and they're just not recommending that. I mean, I called my grandfather and I was like, hey, I've watched every season of Grey's Anatomy. I'm practically a surgeon, and it's a very small hole that they need to put in. Your skull's like a rock. They're just gonna drill a tiny hole, and they'll take a small biopsy, like, and it'll be good. But he just said to me, like, for what purpose? Like, if it's operable, am I gonna operate? I'm 89 years old. In talking with him, I do feel a lot of peace. I was very upset when my dad called me because he said, like, when you get out in the car, he wants you to call him. I was like, right now? Like, by the time I get out, it's gonna be midnight there. Like, I'm not calling him. He said, Kira, he's in the hospital and he's waiting for your phone call. You're the last grandchild that he hasn't spoken to yet, and so he wants to talk to you. And I was like, so, like, are you telling me to go out into the car and like call my grandfather and say goodbye? Because like I don't feel comfortable with that. And he said no, but he doesn't know. Like, now that he knows that he has brain cancer, like, they're putting him on hospice and palliative care. But I mean, the doctor said it could be tomorrow, it could be a year from now. Nobody really knows. And so my grandfather just felt like he wanted to say what he wanted to say when he had it on his mind. And so at first it was a really difficult conversation, but by the end, you know, my grandfather was talking about his legacy and how at peace he feels, and he feels like he's done everything, and he misses my grandmother. It's been 20 years without her, and he just wants to see her, and you know, and so I get all of that. So I felt better, but it was still just a very heavy load. This is the side of the family that just lost my cousin and my uncle. I just feel like I don't know how much more that side of the family could emotionally take, and so it was like just a lot to take in. And then the very next day, there was like a big thing that went down at work. Like a whole bunch of people shifted, a whole bunch of people moved, a whole bunch of people left. Like it was like a whole big conglomerate of things. And I had no idea where it was really going to lead. And so last week I had a big meeting after all that stuff went down, and they asked if we could, if ever all the staff can come in for a meeting, because there was going to be regime changes and things like that. And so we all kind of prepared to go to this meeting, and I didn't really prepare myself for what that was going to mean for me. So a lot of you have been asking, like, what are you doing for work? I thought you were only part-time. You seem to be working a lot. Like, what's going on? And for a long time, I really didn't want to share, just for privacy purposes, because obviously I've faced a lot of negativity on this channel, and I just don't want to put anything out there that's truly going to in turn maybe affect my family. I never want to lose a job because somebody who doesn't like me wants to go and sabotage where I work and stuff. And so for privacy and safety reasons, I mean, shoot, when I first moved here to Texas, there was like a really big story. I'm not exactly sure. I know Vanessa was the one who told me. I'm not exactly sure where in Texas, but I know that it was in Texas, that a YouTuber had a gentleman who like developed a crush on her, and so he wanted to be with her, and so he like found where she lived, and he broke into her house, and he waited in her closet for her to come home. I mean, luckily she came home with her husband. They ended up being safe, and he was apprehended, but things don't always turn out like that. I'm not saying I'm some like sexy model where I got someone like waiting in my closet for me, but just there are all sorts of walks of life out there. And so for privacy reasons, I really just wanted to keep my job concealed, at least where I worked. A few times I had responded in comments if I had time that I was catering for a mom and pop Italian restaurant. And that was really all I was willing to give away. But like I said, you know, I face a lot of negativity in my life, and there is a group of people who just continue to reiterate that they spend their hashtag no lives dedicating themselves to finding out whatever YouTuber is on their radar for that moment, what goes on inside of their life. And originally when this like site first popped up, it affected me gravely. I mean, I'm still seeking my therapist every single week. This is not a sponsored video, but I do love myself some BetterHelp. I love my therapist, and I'm still meeting with her every Saturday, and I don't plan on giving her up anytime soon, because these are the things that we're working through right now. Like the bullying that I had as a child that like destroyed my self-confidence, and then to be faced with that as an adult from adults is really, really hard. It doesn't matter. Everybody justifies with, oh, well, those kinds of people are, it doesn't matter, because to be honest, some of those people on those sites are extremely intelligent. What they're able to find out blows my mind. Even if it's super simple, maybe it's just blows my mind to me, because I've never been that invested in anybody that I care what they do outside of what they show me. I don't care what you do. I don't care where you go. I don't care how you get there. It's not my business. It's never has been. So like, maybe it's just because I'm different, but I'm kind of blown away by some of the things that people like dedicate their time to finding out and what they're able to find out. I wish these people took that intelligence and like the dedication that they have to finding certain things out, or the interest, and using it for good, because a gossip site is definitely not one of them. But this summer was 2 years since I have gone on any of those sites. I really can't. Like I said, I'm still currently in therapy, and it's really just not good for me to read line after line of someone tearing me down, or my life, or my husband, or my children, or my family, or my best friends, or whoever the case may be. It's not good for me, and so I stay off of that. But I do have a family member, and I've said this time and time again, they are a paralegal, and they do go on from time to time just to read through, making sure that we're staying within that First Amendment of the freedom of speech, because you can talk all you want, and a lot of these people who are on there, I really don't think that they would ever intentionally harm myself or Vanessa. I don't think they would ever do anything like that. I just think that they like to gossip. That's the whole point. And so some people like the Sun and the Inquirer, and they like to go on there and do that. So I don't, like, if that, to each his own, you know, if that's what makes you happy and you want to go and do that, like, so be it. I just don't want to visually read it, but I also want to make sure that everyone is staying safe. So I want to make sure, like, no one's posting pictures of my house because they're driving by, or all those kinds of things. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to make sure. And just a couple of days ago, she had popped on and hadn't been on for a while, and had mentioned that they already found where I work and all of that. And so the privacy, I guess, is blown. So I guess I can share a little bit more. I'm still not going to go into like company name detail and all that, even though that they already know, but I feel like I can share just a tiny bit more, because obviously it's attainable information, since they plastered myself and my husband and usual and family and photos. Like, even when I went to the wedding, I didn't even get a chance to share the video of the wedding of my family before they went on my family's Facebooks and pulled pictures and posted it all over their website. So it's kind of sad that even my family is affected by my choices. Like, if they don't care, if they're is that interested in what I do, fine, but to like pull my family into it is kind of annoying. But like I said, I'm only checking for safety. As long as they're just running their mouth, I could care less. Go crazy. I'm the happiest I've truly ever been in a really, really long time, and so I'm not going to let anybody like that bring me down. Which, speaking of, I have 5 minutes to close this up because I have to leave to go to work. So I started off with the opportunity to cater a position for a company that Daryl was working for. They are a mom and pop small pizzeria company that started with one store, that store evolved into a restaurant. It's the only full service store, but then they have 5 other locations that do catering out of it and still serve, you know, Italian food, pizza, and that kind of thing. And you guys, it didn't take very long after starting to work that I was able to show what I'm capable of. I really only wanted part-time hours. I was just trying to fulfill some time while the kids were at school. I was gonna work 10 to 2 every day, Monday through Friday, and being that, you know, they knew my husband and our works and our life and our home and our children schedules and things were flexible, and I was going to be able to still leave every day and go get my kids and be able to work while they were in school, and if they had a vacation I could stay home. And they already knew about me leaving to go to New York, and you know, as long as I worked my hours and the schedule allotted, they were fine. But then after some people left and some changes happened, the owners came in to work, and it was a really, really, really busy Friday night, and we had tons of catering orders and tons of things, and I got pulled to run pretty much one of the busiest sections in the restaurant because we were short, and I ended up working alongside of the boss, and I was too quick for her. She said, "Kira, stop, you're moving too fast, like I can't keep up with you." And I said, "Ma'am, it's a $10,000 Friday night, I can't sit here and talk to you, like I have to keep moving." And so she said, "Well, where do you need me?" I said, "Can you go do dishes for me?" So I thought that was really funny. It was a big joke all night that I sent the owner to go do dishes, but she's freaking fantastic, and she just went and helped, which was really, really great. But afterwards, that's once you show your worth, then that's pretty much it. You're on their radar. So then we had another big meeting this week, and they pretty much said like, "Hey, here's our intentions, and eventually like one of these stores is going to go to you. Like, you proved in no time flat that this is something that you're good at." And I am, you guys. I feel so good. It like reinstated all the confidence in me because I'm really good at this. It just comes naturally to me. The restaurant business always has. I started when I'm 16 and I'm 41 now, so 25 years here. And even though I didn't work for a chunk of that, I'm still pretty much running a restaurant business inside of my home, especially sharing recipes and all of that with you guys. It's not exactly the same, but all of this comes so natural to me that as soon as I got in there and I started working, it was like riding a bike. And obviously it impressed them because I outcut the owners and I outworked them alongside of them. And so by showing them that, So now I have a full-time position, which I'm gonna do my best to continue to manage my channel. You guys will always still get a grocery haul, your lunch video, and probably one other bonus video during the week. I'm just trying to learn how to adjust it all, to do a 40-hour work week and still be mom and still spend quality time with my children and still find time. Like all those women who work and do this, like I applaud you. I won't give up my videos to anybody because I like to edit. This is me. Doing all those B-roll footages when I do vlogs and stuff, that's all me, and I love that, and I've self-taught myself. I didn't know how to click a button before I started doing this, and so I really enjoy all of that, and I don't want to give that up. But I just know that it's going to be, I need your patience because I'm really enjoying this. It's allowing me to keep going. Last Friday night when I worked with my boss, I did 16,000 steps that day because we were hustling and moving, and I'm getting my body going, and I feel good, and I'm happy in my job, and I'm making more money, and it's going to make it easier for us, and the kids are happy and everybody's happy. And because like I said, I'm working in the same company alongside of my husband, hours and stuff are very easy to make sure that somebody is always here for the kids, and nobody is feeling slighted. No one's feeling the true effects of this except for me. I'm exhausted, but I'm in training and I'm learning all these management things now, and so I'm a little overloaded in the brain and on the outside, but it's still a good overloaded, and I'm really happy. And it's the first time I felt really happy in a long time. Like I'm secure in my marriage. We're almost gonna celebrate our 10-year anniversary next month, and we're gonna go away for the weekend, which is gonna be fantastic because by then we're totally going to need it, because it's been a rough couple of weeks just kind of like adjusting to the change. So by then we're really gonna need it. But to have a job, and my kids are happy in school, and things are coming together in the home, and so for the first time in a long time, I feel the best that I've ever felt, and I hope that you guys will come along on the journey with me. It's going to be a step-by-step process. You guys are going to learn alongside of me because I don't really know what's coming, but I do know that I'm going to continue with this 30-day challenge. I do know that I have a large position that I need to fill within this company right now that I'm very excited and looking forward to do. I enjoy challenging myself. I enjoy the confidence boost. The staff that I work with is incredible, and so I'm hoping to stay on this high again, and I hope you guys come along with me. So thank you for being patient for this update. I will keep posting and sharing as much as I can, little by little. Like I'm gonna edit this on my break today because I'm working a double. So I love you guys, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bruno, leave the cat. Cat's in the window staring at the garbage man. Dog wants to bark too. All right, things are about to get hairy, and I gotta leave in 5 minutes, and I have to go grab my water, my Built Bar, and a banana so I can get myself through the first half of my shift. I love you guys. Thanks for tuning in and sitting with me. Subscribe if you are new. Give the video a big thumbs up and all the good things, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.